Hi friends, it's Michelle, and as promised, I'm going to show you how to use the hammock to do this sort of a fancy headstand where you're doing a twist and trying to lower one leg towards the ground and one leg is extended up towards the ceiling. It's very difficult to do on the ground, because you have to have really good balance. And also it helps to have a little bit of flexibility in your hamstrings. But in any case, it's not that it's going to be necessarily all that much easier, but we do have some support with the hammock. Let me show you how to use it. So we'll first start out coming into the hip hang. I think most of you know how to do this if you're in this group, but in either case, I'm going to take that fabric right at the crease where my leg creases into the hips or into the pelvis. And as I fold over, I'm going to leave that there in the crease. Now, when you normally do a hip hang like this, you can see my head's dangling off the floor, legs are dangling off the ground, the arms are dangling off the ground. And that's, one of the reasons why people like it. They dangle and they don't have any weight on their head. For the variation I'm going to show you, we're going to actually want to place the head to the floor, but maybe don't put like 100% of your weight on it. We don't want to actually completely release out of the hammock. We're going to use the hammock to help take some of the body weight, and we're going to use the floor to help take some of the body weight so that we have stability as we try to do the twist and leverage as we try to do the twist. So to do that, you are going to want to swing yourself or use your hands to push yourself a little bit more towards the back of your mat so that as you lift the knees just enough to get the crown of the head to the floor, you're going to more or less have your head in plumb line. Now from there, you can leave your hands on the mat, and of course if you just need less weight in your head, you pull your knees down, and if you need a little bit more, you lift the knees up. Now of course, if you lift the knees too high, then you'd completely disconnect off the hammock, so be aware of that. And that brings us to our next step. What we'll do is we'll wrap one leg around the outside of the hammock and straighten through that leg so that that's the leg that's reaching up towards the ceiling. So I'm going to do that with my right leg. I'm going to take it around the outside of the hammock, tuck the toes in the center, and then reach up through that leg. Now, you're really getting straight in that leg. Actually, what that does is it means the hammock sort of slides off of my right hip crease area. It sort of slides down the thigh. And that sort of pushing of the right leg into the hammock, either pushing the shin against it or the calf against the outside or the thigh into the hammock, all of that actually helps keep me in place. The other leg does the opposite. We don't wrap it, and we try to push the foot down towards the floor. And it's this separation of the legs that actually keeps our body weight in the hammock, takes some of the weight off of the head. You don't really have much weight in the head. So now from here, let's do the twist part. This part is the fun part, and this part is where the hammock can really help you. So I've got my both feet flexed, and I've got both legs as straight as they can be, and they're sort of separating away from each other. I'm going to turn both sets of toes, the hips, everything towards the right, because this is my left leg. If this was my right leg, the one that's descending towards the floor, then I would turn everything towards the left. So let's go here. I'm going to turn my right toes as much as I can towards the right. I'm pushing the left foot across as much as I can to the right, and as much as I can, I'm basically twisting. Now the upper body, my head doesn't twist, my shoulders don't go anywhere. It winds up being just in the middle spine that I rotate and turn the hips. You can leave your hands on the floor like the way I have them here, as like a tripod headstand, or you can switch your forearms to the floor, like how, it was maybe a bit more traditional when you do a headstand. But in either case, this is really actively helping you with the twist, that sort of descension. The more you descend the left foot, or whichever foot you're descending towards the floor, the more you descend that down and work hard at it, you're going to find the length in the spine. To come out of it, first of all, just come out of the twist, and then you can use your hands on the floor to lift your head off the ground, and you can walk yourself a little more forward to make it easier. When you're ready to release the foot that's wrapped around the hammock, I strongly recommend you use your hand to help guide the fabric back in place into your hip crease, just so that you don't, you can do it without the hand, but it maybe scrapes your skin a little bit more, is not as comfortable. Anyway, that is the way that I would use the hammock to help with that position, help us, support our exploration with that position. If you have a different way, maybe you want to share it with us. Don't be afraid, don't be nervous, don't be shy.